So this is the other half, or the bonus tree as it were. So it came literally half the root ball, so I have absolutely no doubt that it will survive. And what can we do with this? So let's look at it. Because of the beautiful curves in the trunk, there is a lot of potential. Most of you will know by now that I like the Literati style. And Literati style is a very esoteric style, meaning very few people understand it because it is not just esoteric but enigmatic. It is hard to explain what Literati feeling is. I've seen many people try to do Literati, and all they do is a long bare stem and they call it Literati. But Literati has got that Chinese or Japanese calligraphy characteristic with it. So the sweep of the curve and the line has to have that quality. If it doesn't have that quality, then it is not a Literati. And usually tall bare stems, whether it's tall or hanging down, they all add to the Literati character. They don't have to just be single trunk. It can be twin trunk, because this has got almost like a twin trunk. But let's see what we can get out of it. It's very hard to do much else. You could get a tree like that, but usually a cascade has to have a head. If it doesn't have a head, it's not so interesting. Well, that is a possibility. Whenever you try to devise a design, you always have to look at every possibility. See, that line is very dramatic like that. So that is a possibility, you see? Why does everything have to go upwards? It can go down. So Literati can also be a downward pointing branch. So that is possible. I don't want it just to be an ordinary windswept like that. I don't think that is so interesting. What do you think, like this? Like this? Yeah. See, that bend is interesting like that. So that is promising. That is a bit of clutter there. So if there's clutter, let's get rid of it. I know a lot of people keep asking, how is it you can decide so fast what to do? So I'm still concentrating on the beauty of that line, and that repeats itself. That's also interesting. I haven't decided on that. That might go eventually. And if we turn it round so that we consider all the different options, you always have to see what the different options are. Now, if we look at it this way, somehow it is not so interesting. I can see straight away that the curve is not emphasized so much. So straight away, I will say to myself that this is not an interesting side. So we come back to this side, and this side is the interesting side. Because of that. I know it's sunk too low in the pot, but when it's potted, you should be able to see the top of that trunk, like so, coming down like that. Or like that. Well, because we haven't potted it yet, how to fix it? Oh God, it's a real problem. Okay, no, oh, damn thing. Let me just see. Yeah? That looks interesting.
Very.
So, we will apply the less is more principle. I'm going to gin this back one. May shorten it much more. I'm not sure about that one at the back. I'm going to wire these branches to make pads. You know, a pad is like the flat of the hand, so these are going to be wired flat. We'll do some wiring. There's quite a lot of wiring to do. So, because this is a San Jose type of juniper, I know at the moment this is all what we call the juvenile, that means prickly foliage. If the tree is kept pot bound, you will get the adult foliage. So, given time, the adult foliage will make it look nicer. So we are wiring these flat. Can you see like a herringbone? This is what we call the herringbone pattern. All pads are like the fishbone. See, wide at the base, spreading out that way. I'm just thinning the branches so that I have alternate branches to wire. I want to put a thick piece of wire to give a twist to this bit, so I better put the thick piece of wire now, because if I put it later on, it may not be able to bend it. So I'm going to start from there, link the wire. Can you get it? Now this is a single piece. I forgot to split it. Usually most junipers, by splitting the trunk, it certainly makes it easier to bend. Why stress it too much? Yeah, these are very inflexible branches. We've now wired it. I hope this won't crack because junipers are very prone to cracking and breaking. At least this variety does. No two junipers are the same. This is too close, so I get rid of this. Can make a bit of gin with that. Remember that although I've gone for this solution, every tree has different solution. I know people will comment, oh, I would have done it another way. Well, you can do it another way. I'm not saying you can't. It's just that what I do is my choice of option. That is not the only choice. So as I'm going along, I'm just wiring all the pads together. Okay, so you see it's almost like wiring a pad. Just like the bones of a fish, it's been arranged. That's the pad, flat, but that is not the viewing side. The viewing side really of the tree is going to be something like this. So we've got to get some movement in here. Got to be careful not to snap it because I'm very conscious that these blooming branches snap very easily. Whoops, already there's a bit of snap there, but it will heal. I don't know whether I need this. I may keep it. It's quite nice. It's just a bit of detail, but I don't want to rush it. See, repeating the pattern always works, always works. So I'm repeating this pattern again. And that will be gin. I think we can gin the rest of those. I don't think we need these somehow. We can put little gins there. Those will be ginned, this will be ginned. And we'll put it in some form of cascade pot. And we'll pot it up and we'll show you the end result. Tall cascade pot. And we're going to put the tree in here, like so. And you see there's a lot of root in it. Although we cut the root ball in half, there's plenty root. So, because it's a tall pot, I'm not going to put it at that angle. I want it to come down like that. So, that would look better like that. So, I have to tease away enough root so that it fits that angle. So, if there is soil there in the root ball, I have to keep teasing away. We're lucky we have such a lot of root in there. So I know that the tree won't suffer. Initially, we may have to keep it at a slight edge because there's not enough root on this side. Well, I don't have 4 hands. That angle is still not right. That is almost like a windswept, although it's not bad really. But I think I want it more cascading down. But as I said, since it's only the first potting, I don't want too much root jutting from the top. So I've got to be careful how much I prop it up. I think that is about as much as I will do it for now, because too much root will show from the top. I need to have enough root at the bottom. See, just a slight twist makes all the difference. That's something, unfortunately, you can't teach. You've got to feel it. Later on, when we come to repotting it in 1 or 2 years' time, the trunk needs to come more to the center. But for the time being, I'm keeping it like this so that it can support the tree. Okay? All right, stop it. So, as you can see, it's like a semi-cascade, but very much like a Literati type semi-cascade. As I said to you, Literatis don't have to be tall and straight. They can be cascading trees. And this has very much a Literati style to it. As you know, I love Literati. So this is the end product of the other half. I didn't expect it to come out this way. Sort of windswept, Literati, call it what you will, double cascade or double semi-cascade. If you wanted to, you could just gin this, but I'll prefer to keep it. I don't know whether it is better with or without.
They're 2 different trees altogether.
Yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? So I like it like this, so we'll keep it like this. So we got 2 for the price of 1. And we're very pleased that it turned out this way. So there you go.